time for Big Game Breakdown. As always, live odds, SBR odds, and sportsbook review. Make sure you're betting with a trustworthy shop out there. Game 5 in Beantown. Wizards and the Celtics series tied at 2. Home team 4-0 straight up in ATS. Celtics 4.5. 215 the total. Game 1, 123 to 111. Game 2, Celtics also win 129 to 119 in overtime. Game 3 and Game 4 all Washington 116 to 89 and 121 to 102. Washington an amazing plus 24 over the 4 games in regulation, and they turned around Game 4 in the third quarter with defense. Outscored the Celtics 42 to 20 in the third. 9 Boston turnovers, which resulted in 21 Washington points, Teddy.
Yeah, I mean, it was all the Wizards' quick hands in the passing lane. 6 steals in that third quarter alone. And when you're scoring 21 points over turnovers in one quarter, the other team's going to have a very hard time bouncing back from that. And you look at the defensive adjustments that the Wizards made against Boston spark plug Isaiah Thomas at halftime. This graphic shows it really well. First half, he's normal Isaiah, 17 points on 6 of 11 shooting. Celtics are +1 with him on the floor. Second half, they shut him down. Only 3 shot attempts, only 1 of them made, 5 turnovers, -31 in his 12.5 minutes. So you ask, was it physical play or dirty play? Let me give you a couple of quotes that give you 2 differing opinions on that question. Markieff Morris, quote, "We just have to corral him right. He's a small guy. At the end of the day, if he's got 3 players around him, how can you make a pass? How can you make a shot? That's basically what we're doing." Morris, of course, saying, "Hey, we're physical. No big deal." Thomas, quote, "They were very physical. The refs were allowing them to hold and grab and do all of those things. I can't be allowed to be held and grabbed every pin down, every screen. I don't even shoot 1 free throw. Especially in the third quarter, I may have hit the ground 5 or 6 times. The series returning to Boston, Isaiah didn't get the call, calling out the refs saying, 'Hey, they're playing dirty.' One would think Isaiah will get his fair share of free throw attempts in this one."
That's a good move, and I'm with you on that one. They were holding him. Now, it's a weird situation here with the schedule and a bad move by the NBA. You have extra days to prepare, only 1 game since last Thursday, so maybe you like Stevens over Brooks here with the time to adjust in the schedule. Stevens, quote, "did a little bit more switching. Gortat ended up on Isaiah more than a couple of occasions, but they were aggressive off the pick and roll, the blitz pick and roll, whatever the case may be. They were up into him," end quote. Now, it also helps Washington, though, as we've talked about the last 2 months. Beal and Wall played a ton of minutes, but now with 2 days rest, they can help them and go deeper in these games. Even in the Game 4 blowout, though, the Wizards, the bench was a disaster again. Bogdanovich -8 in 22 minutes. Jennings -10 in 17 minutes. Mahinmi -13 in 12 minutes. But the worst fear for Stevens and the Celtics, Wall was 15 of 42 shooting in the last 2 games. They won by a combined 46 points anyways. Oh, no.
Yeah, I mean, you make a case, you make your argument who's the best player in this series. My money would probably be on John Wall in that regard. So when Wall doesn't shoot particularly well, he facilitated his teammates very well, but 15 of 44 from the floor, just 3 of 11 from 3, and Washington's winning those games by 46 points. That's not good news for Boston. What might be good news for Boston is the fact that this is the first time all year that Isaiah Thomas is coming off back-to-back games in which he was held under 20 points. This game has Thomas explosion written all over it in that regard. Not a guy who's been able to, any team has been able to shut down repeatedly this season. But let's go back to that time to prepare. Because, for a team like Washington, with those short rotations, with a bench that hasn't gotten the job done. Although, Mahinmi has a chance to make their bench better. He wasn't particularly good in Game 5, but Game 4, I should say, they needed him back on the floor. And I would think that his numbers may improve as the series progresses. But when you take the benches out of the equation, how much better have Washington starters been? Look at this graphic with the net point per hundreds. And I used Marcus Smart on this chart because he's not starting, but he's played more minutes than any other Celtic that's coming off the bench or starting. But the minutes, look at it. 1+ after the next for the Wizards starters, 1- after the next for the Celtic starters. Washington has had the better frontline talent in this series.
What do you think with this round now that 15 of the 17 games have been decided by double digits and how this series has been nothing but blowouts? Are you looking, would you like to look at the home team? Or what do you think, what's your lean on this one?
As this series progresses, much like we talked about with when we were previewing Houston, San Antonio yesterday, as you get into Game 5 and Game 6, the home court is worth less and less, generally, as these series progress. So I'm not in a rush to lay points with the Celtics here, despite the quote-unquote bounce-back situation. We had a very competitive game last night, and I wouldn't be surprised if tonight's game is every bit as competitive. Remember, Game 2 went to overtime, so there has been one down-to-the-wire game in this series. This could have the feel of a second one.
Hey guys, for the full video, go to sbrpicks.com.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to our channel. Now, we've put a lot of work into producing all these free videos, so please help us out and keep all our content free for you forever by simply liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Now, not to mention, a visit to our industry-leading website will warm the hearts of all our SBR employees, especially myself. Now, the links are over there to the left, so do check those out. Thanks for watching.